What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, I know I've been giving DICE a ton of crap right now when it comes to Battlefield 2042, but I gotta be honest with you guys, after being on such a rough and rocky, bumpy trail, trying to simply just keep up with this game has been really hard. I've given this game month after month after month after month, hoping that every single day it would possibly improve, that they would possibly, give us something, some type of spark that would improve the overall experience, and they never delivered. Now, of course, here we are, current date. The game actually plays pretty darn good. Now, again, like I said, I say this in all my videos. If you didn't enjoy Battlefield 2042 day one, you're not going to enjoy it now. It's the exact same game. Of course, they overhauled some of the maps, and they are working on bringing back the class system and stuff of that sorts, but at the end of the day, it's still Battlefield 2042. But when we're talking about bugs, glitches, reworked maps, adding in more content, it's slowly yet surely getting there. It's a much more playable game today than it was back then. But like I said, being an individual who, of course, got, completely finessed by the marketing. I mean, let's be real here. I was completely all in with Battlefield 2042. And then, of course, like I said, months and months and months of just, waiting to see if they could prove me wrong that, they weren't completely incompetent of the project. It bummed me the hell out. But I gotta say, like I said, pushing all of the negatives aside, there has been something that I did notice that is really positive when it comes to Battlefield 2042 recently, within these recent updates. Now, you probably heard about this from other content creators, but I did want to go ahead and give my personal take on it because I gotta say, I think I do have a pretty spicy take when it comes to this specific topic, but that is 3D spotting. Yes, DICE has reintroduced 3D spotting into Battlefield 2042. Now, this is something that I did not want to see anywhere close to this game. I gotta be real. I'm one of the individuals who, like I said, hot take, but I think 3D spotting is just a little too much, especially for my aggressive playstyle when it comes to Battlefield games. When I'm in a match of Conquest or something of that sort, I like to be able to flank flags, try to get nice sneaky plays. It's very hard to do so when you get pinged and the whole enemy team is pretty much, directly locked onto your location. So it's a little aggravating. And in more recent Battlefield games, like Battlefield 5, for example, when they removed that system and just added in a more basic ping system, I thought that was pretty darn good. It was the best of both worlds. There was still a decent enough ping that you can give information to your teammates, but it wasn't so overwhelming that you couldn't, get a nice juicy flank or, find a way to navigate the map without being seen stealthily, without getting absolutely pinpointed by the whole enemy squad. Now, in 2042, they had a pretty similar system, but like I said, DICE decided that the best move here in 2042 is to revert back to 3D spotting, which, once again, for anybody who, might not play Battlefield games, basically, if you spot an individual, if you look at that person and you ping them, not only will it make it a little bit easier for you to spot them when they're right in front of you, but at the same time, there will be a permanent red dot on the minimap showing their exact location, their exact movement. Now, of course, it's not an arrow showing, where they're looking at, but still, I think, seeing exactly where they are and where they're running at is good enough to basically cut off any player and, basically win a gunfight, have massive intel over that individual, and completely wipe them clean. But I gotta say, after playing Battlefield 2042 with 3D spotting re-implemented into the game, I gotta be honest, it plays a lot better than I was expecting. Like I said, I came in with a very negative mindset. I was extremely stressed that this would just, like I said, it was already hard enough to rush in Battlefield 2042 as it was, before obviously they overhauled all the maps. But the base maps in this game were so open, so tedious, that my God, if you get 3D spotted, you're screwed. There's no cover. You're just going to get beamed by 50 people who are just waiting back, waiting for a 3D spot to pop up on the minimap. But after DICE have pretty much, overhauled all the OG maps, which are way better, again, like I said, it's proving to me that DICE understands what the community wants when it comes to map designs. But after they overhauled pretty much almost all of the maps, and also within, I believe, this season, they're going to have a couple of more maps being overhauled, and also all the DLC maps being outstanding. There has not been one DLC map that has been entered into Battlefield 2042 that I have not enjoyed. Like I said, I talk my crap about this game, but every single time a new season comes out, you best believe I've come out on this channel and said, these maps are bangers. They know what they're doing now. They didn't know it before, but now, at this current moment, they know exactly what they're doing when it comes to map design. So with the maps improving and having better flow, I gotta be honest, the ping doesn't really annoy me, like it typically would. I gotta be real, I've been able to still flank, I've been able to still have good moments. Yeah, obviously, the ping will throw me off and people will gang up on me, but at the end of the day, it's not completely impossible. And I think that the flow on the maps are good enough that it can support something like 3D spotting. Now, not only have the new improved map designs, changed my mindset on 3D spotting, but also the lack of team play in this game has changed my mind on 3D spotting. All the previous Battlefield titles, team play was natural. You didn't have to talk to your whole overall squad. Honestly, you barely ever could. You could talk to the people who are in your specific squad, but the full team, it's not like a milsim where, you have your commanders and the commanders have their own chat, and then the commanders can go to their own, individual squads and, distribute orders from there. It's nothing like that. You have, 4 or 5 people that you can chat with, and that's it. So communication, it isn't completely there, but you got to keep in mind, even though it wasn't completely there for the whole squad, unless, obviously you use text chat, Battlefield still naturally was just a team-based game. You flowed together perfectly. And I think the reason that Battlefield 2042 lacks this is because of no class system. Now, again, the class system is being worked on right now as we speak, and I think it's coming in, this season, next month or something of that sort, December, I'm not sure. So we will see if these improvements will work. Again, I'm keeping a very level head here because, like I said, Battlefield 2042 let me down so badly in the beginning that I just really do not want to get any hopes up until proven wrong. So I'm going to keep a level head with the class system in Battlefield 2042 for the time being until I can test it out. But like I said, the game seriously lacks natural teamwork, natural team flow, where you and your whole overall team will just synchronize nicely together. When you have those perfect pushes to certain flags, or, perfect pushes to certain objectives, or amazing defense rounds with your team, everybody is synchronizing perfectly. You have people giving ammo for people who need it. You have your medics reviving everybody. You have snipers actually holding off specific lanes. Across the board, everybody is playing their role. It always had a natural flow to it. But in Battlefield 2042, that's gone. But with 3D spotting, I feel like the natural flow almost is coming back again. Because when you do have 3D spotting, more people are showing up on the minimap, more people have something to look at and synchronize along. I always say this, and, one of the debates in the Call of Duty community right now is people, really hate the fact that they removed red dots on the minimap. And I agree with them because the minimap, whether you like it or not, is a skill gap. Yeah, it is cool to have immersive experiences where, you're not looking at the minimap 24/7. But seeing the minimap, seeing where your teammates are at, and seeing where the enemies are at is actually pretty crucial when it comes to a casual game. Because like I said, when you're playing a game where barely anybody's talking, but it's still, pretty much a competitive FPS game at the end of the day, people are still in here trying to win the overall game, having knowledge that doesn't require you to talk allows you to come together as a team easier. And in a game, like I said, where the class system is gone and team play is at an all-time low, this is something that is bringing people together. I'm noticing my squad is synchronizing. I'm noticing that it's easier to pinpoint where enemies are at, where their lines are being held, and we are actually synchronizing together as a group and pushing those lines, instead of it just seeming like, a free-for-all. Because that's what Battlefield 2042 seems like to me. It seems like they wanted to take Apex Legends, a little bit of Call of Duty, and, just make basically a free-for-all. It's a lack of team play. It's a lack of effort. It's mostly just, you go into the game and you see how many frags you get. The exact thing that Call of Duty is all about is basically what Battlefield 2042 is trying to become, when Battlefield has always been the opposite. People care less about KD. It's all about the experience. It's all about the atmosphere. It's about winning. It's about playing with your team. And adding 3D spotting into the game actually, like I said, to my surprise, helps with that tremendously. Now all we have to do is just patiently wait to see what the class system rework is going to be all about, to see if it's going to be good enough, and to see if it's actually going to push people to play as a team a little bit better. To be honest with you, like I said, I'm not really expecting too much because the foundation has already been made. To completely re-scrap this whole model when they literally made the game around specialists is going to be extremely hard. With the next Battlefield game, if they start from the ground up with the class system, I think it'll be better. But right now, I think they're just going to be trying to probably find a middle ground. I don't want people to get too excited about this and think, oh yeah, classic, class system is coming back. It's going to be amazing. It's exactly what we all want. Patience is key on this one, because I am a tad bit worried that they're going to just, like I said, find a middle ground. It's not going to be exactly like the class system, but it's not going to be the specialist that everybody hates. It's going to be enough for people to tolerate Battlefield 2042, but not enough for OG hardcore fans to want to truly dabble in this game again. I don't know, man. We'll have to see when the time finally comes. But ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor and go down in the comment section and leave your opinions on what you think about 3D spotting in the Battlefield scene. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you prefer how it was with Battlefield 5 where it wasn't 3D spotting, just basic spotting? Or do you like the classic Battlefield games where basically, every person that you pinged is up on the minimap and your whole squad can kind of navigate around that? But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button. Say hate it, leave a dislike. Also, for brand new to the content, if you subscribe, hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, this is we do so, Twitter and Discord, both in the description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch. There's a description as well. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.